All right, hi first grade. Okay, we're ready for day 2, chapter 2 of Junie B. Jones, Dumb Bunny. But before we get started, I'm going to ask you a main idea question. Now, I want you to get your A on my notebook out and you can write whether you think the answer is A, B, or C in your notebook. I'll read it 2 times. I want you to listen carefully for the main idea, what the story is mainly about. It's just really short. Joe likes to eat apples. Apples are a fruit. There are many kinds of apples. Joe likes green apples the best. He also likes apple pie. Okay, I'm going to read it one more time. Let's listen. Joe likes to eat apples. Apples are fruit. There are many kinds of apples. Joe likes green apples the best. He also likes apple pie. So do you think the main idea is A, Joe has an apple tree, B, Joe likes apples very much, or C, Joe cannot eat apples? Think about what I read, and do you think it's A, that he has an apple tree, B, he likes apples very much, or C, that Joe cannot eat apples? You can pause it and write your answer, and I'll tell you it here in a second. If you get it right, you can mark it with a smiley face and tell yourself, good job. Give your brain a kiss. If you didn't get it right, you can just fix it and try again next time, okay? So, listening to the story, we can see that the answer is B. Joe likes apples very much. We know this because it says Joe likes to eat apples. It says that Joe likes green apples the best. And it says that Joe likes apple pie. It gives you 3 things that Joe likes about apples. So yesterday we read chapter 1 of Junie B. Jones, Dumb Bunny. And we learned that Lucille was throwing a party with the Easter Bunny. And we also learned that Junie B has been calling May Dumb Bunny, and she is not allowed to do that. And May is not allowed to tattle. So let's see if they do better today in chapter 2. Called Clothes and Nubs. When I get to a page with a picture, I will share it with you, okay? Chapter 2, Clothes and Nubs. Lucille was still mad at lunch. I just don't get it, she grouched. How could anyone forget the Easter Bunny? The Easter Bunny brings candy right to your door. Lenny did a frown at her. He doesn't bring candy to my door, Lucille, he said. The Easter Bunny is a different religion than me. I'm Jewish. Shirley nodded. I'm Jewish too, Lucille, she said. I've never been on an Easter egg hunt before. What do you wear to something like that anyway? Lucille stood up and fluffed her dress. Well, since the Easter Bunny and I are the same religion, I'm going to wear a fancy Easter dress, Shirley, she said. Shirley thought for a minute. Then she nodded. Then I guess I will wear a fancy Jewish dress, she said. Lenny's eyes lighted up. Really, Shirley? You mean we have our own clothing line, he asked. He smiled. Then I think I will wear some fancy Jewish pants, he said. My friend named Herbert tapped on his chin. Let's see. I'm a Presbyterian. I guess I should wear Presbyterian pants, he said. He turned and looked at me. Presbyterian means we iron out our own wrinkles, I think, he said. Just then, Sheldon slapped the table with his hand. Hey, I know! I will wear a fancy turban. A fancy turban is religious clothes, right? He asked. I love fancy turbans. Mr. Scary was listening to us while he ate. He quick put down his sandwich. Boys and girls, you're getting way off track here, he said. Lucille's Easter egg hunt is not a religious party. Really. I've spoken to her mother about it. It's more of a spring picnic with an egg hunt activity. Am I right, Lucille? Yes, she said. My mother said the Easter Bunny isn't even working that day. He's just going to hop around the party and smile and have his picture taken with people. I thought about that for a second. I don't think bunnies should smile, I said. Bunnies have yellow teeth, like clown teeth, except Bunny teeth are way pointier. Sheldon nodded. My Aunt Bunny has a pointy tooth, he said. She can stab a pickle with it, and the pickle just stays there. All of us stared at him. Sheldon has the interestingest family I have ever heard of. Lucille did a big breath. Well, I don't care about pointy bunny teeth, she said. Bunnies have cute floppy ears and puffy fluffy tails and itchy twitchy noses. I kept on picturing their teeth. Bunny teeth can nibble your head off into a nub, I said. No, they cannot, Junie B. Jones, she said back. Oh, yes, they can, Lucille, whatever your last name is, I said. I saw it on Oprah. Mr. Scary glared at me. I ducked down in my seat, and I quieted my voice. Oprah has a lot of nub information, I said very softly. Mr. Scary glared again. I started to squirm. Teachers can spot a fib a mile away. At recess, Lucille told us more about the party. She said that there was going to be lots of delicious food to eat. Plus, also, there was going to be an exciting prize for the Easter egg winner. And wait till you hear this, she said. My daddy's going to hide a real pretend golden egg. And whoever finds the golden egg will win the grand prize of the day. And that is a fabulous play date with me, Lucille. She twirled around and hugged herself. And it's not just any old fabulous play date with me either, she said. The winner is going to get to go swimming with me in my heated indoor swimming pool that we just had enclosed. She did a little shiver and rubbed her arms. Isn't that exciting, everyone, she asked. Doesn't that give you the tinkles? She looked around. Well, doesn't it? Huh? Doesn't it make you tinkle all over? She asked. All of the children looked curious at each other. Herbert rocked back and forth on his feet for a minute. I think you mean tingles, he said at last. Jose nodded. See, Lucille, you definitely mean tingles, he said. Lucille squinted at those two. Tingles, tinkles, whatever. The point is, a play date with me gives you goosebumps on your arms, she said. Just look at your arms, people. Don't you see them? Don't you see goosebumps? Would you get your goosebumps on your arms if you got to play with Lucille?
No.
All of us looked at our arms. None of us saw the goosebumps. We waited and waited, real patient. And then, finally, goosebumps, shouted Sheldon. I see goosebumps, Lucille! He ran to her and pointed. Look, Lucille, see them? See my goosebumps? He asked. Lucille's face beamed very happy. Ooh, Sheldon, those are the goosiest, bumpiest goosebumps I ever saw. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you for those goosebumps, she said. After that, she gave him a big hug, and she waved her fingers at us. Ha! Well, ta-ta, everyone, she said. It's time for me to go look at myself in the cafeteria window. Then she shook her shiny hair, and she skipped away. Sheldon kept on standing there. He was shocked from the hug, I think. Then all of a sudden, his whole face lighted up, and he began to shout, Lucille, wait up! I'll look at myself in the cafeteria window, too, he shouted. He took off skipping after her. I smiled to see that. I think Sheldon has a crunch on Lucille, I said to my friend Herbert. Herb looked funny at me. You mean crush, Junie B? He has a crush on Lucille, he said. I started to laugh. Don't be ridiculous, Herbert. It's definitely crunch, I said. I am an excellent at expressions. Herb looked funny at me again. I do not know why. After a minute, Sheldon and Lucille skipped past us. They were smiling and giggling and chasing each other. Sheldon was calling to her, Come back here, you springy little lamb, he called. I slapped my knee. Springy little lamb, ha, he called her. A springy little lamb, that is a hoot, I said. May heard me talking. It's not funny, Junie Jones. Can't you see what he's doing, she said. Sheldon is trying to get in good with Lucille, so she'll tell him where the golden egg is hidden. We're just trying to win the playdate to swim in her pool. She followed him with her eyes. He's not going to get away with it, though, she said. After that, she cupped her hands around her mouth and she shouted after him, You can just forget about it, Sheldon Potts. I'm going to be the one who finds the golden egg, not you. I've got my eyes like a red-tailed hawk. I looked at her very curious. May has a lot of bird parts, I believe. Also, she is cuckoo. And that is not name-calling. That is just the truth. All right, that is the end of Chapter 2. Chapter 3 is called Waiting, Waiting, Waiting. So in your AMI notebook, I want you to tell me about an egg hunt you've went on. Think about any egg hunt you've gone on. What would you wear to an egg hunt? What kind of egg? Would you be looking for that golden egg to have a play date with Lucille? Or do you think it's not worth it? Tell me all about your egg hunt, or you can tell me about what you would do if you went to Lucille's egg hunt. What you would wear, if you would want to find the golden egg. It's your choice. Write me a little journal about egg hunts. And I will see you next time. Bye.